Всем привет, дорогие друзья, с вами как всегда я, и сегодня мы играем в эту игру. Это у нас вторая уже серия.
Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18
Ладно,
and never set foot in the room again.
идем сюда. Вроде бы нам не сюда. А, не, нам сюда, нам сюда.
When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could
Раз у
also have
нас,
said he
наверное,
was
будет
building a
следующее
dragon-shaped
место.
slide.
One summer, they evacuated the island. I hadn't thought
Edie
of
gave a
myself.
big interview about a mole man living under the Finch house. My mom was furious. Her room was like a museum. For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune.
Что и что? Ничего интересного, короче, нету здесь. Куда нам идти? Вылезти не можем в окно. Значит, возвращаемся. А, ну мы отсюда и пришли, в принципе. То есть нам сюда. Так. Сюда нельзя. Может, куда-то сюда? Вроде нет. Ничего. Ага. Тут у нас какие-то книжки. Оно все сложилось. Открываем. Бабочка. Тянем. Без тут секретных проходов, конечно. Теперь мы можем пролезть туда.
The passages were a pretty tight fit.
Только какая-то нарисованная.
They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
Вылезаем. У нас Барбара, наверное, живет.
Whenever people ask me about my family,
А нам
the
назад,
first
наверное.
thing they always want to know about is Barbara.
Наверное, нам сюда.
Growing up,
Так.
I always thought of Barbara as a child
Сейв.
star.
Значит, нам сюда.
I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards.
Ну. Какие-то
Of all the
dreadful
stories people
stories.
wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by
Какая-то история
America's
про
most
ты.
unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch. As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up. A has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd
А можно
slipped
как-то
into a
пропустить?
table saw and had to be
Это
rushed to
мне
the
интересно
emergency
это
room.
смотреть.
So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was
Не, никак не
cancelled.
пропустить.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue. She reached for the music box.
Ага, нам нужно, наверное, найти какой-то music box.
And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent.
О, мы можем...
Oh!
Rick?
Нечего
Barb,
пугать,
relax.
сказать.
I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and
She threw him out, but she
Мы его
wanted
костылем ба.
something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the late picture show. Hours later...
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Ah! Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
Тоже там.
It was coming from inside the house.
Oh dear.
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life.
И все равно напали.
I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom.
Бу.
But unfortunately,
Страшно.
so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter? Hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard. But that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box is all they ever found of her.
Почему просто нельзя пропустить?
Her ear. Now that's what I call a real eerie tale.
Конец. Короче, понятно, на нее напали бандюганы, потом оказалось, что ее поздравили, потом опять напали.
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
Идем дальше. Я так понял, нужно прям по всем, что ли, пройтись?
I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box.
Ну куда теперь идти?
It's funny. All those times I played with the music box and never found the basement key.
Тут мы были.
The last time
А,
I was
тут мы
in
вроде бы
Edith
не были,
Senior's
кстати.
room, I was 10 and she was painting my portrait.
Я так думаю, разницы, к кому мы пойдем, нету.
Molly always seemed like a
Тут
girl
мы
I could
тоже не
imagine
были.
being friends with, if she hadn't died in 1947.
Акулы. Мы тут уже были.
I wonder if that comic was right about there being a key inside the music box near the basement.
Так, куда нам идти? Наверное, надо вниз спускаться.
Maybe I should go check out that music box down by the basement.
Надо какой-то мьюзик-бокс посмотреть. Я не помню, где этот мьюзик-бокс был.
A lot of things got left behind in the whirlwind of that last night. My mom wasn't much of an optimist,
Я
but
так думаю,
she
надо
never
искать
stopped believing that my
мьюзик-бокс.
brother Milton was alive.
If I keep winding the music box, maybe a key will pop out like it did in the comic book.
Я не знаю, где этот мьюзик-бокс. А, вроде тут. Откручиваем. Как достать ключ? О, достали. Так. Все как в том комиксе. Но тоже тут были.
Mom said the basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot.
I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages.
Туда вроде бы не были.
I thought maybe she
А,
was
не
hiding
были. Вот
presents.
холодильник тут должен быть, челик.
It turned
А
out
тут
she was hiding a
секретная
lot more
дверь.
than that.
Это,
I
наверное, в
remember
подвал
asking Mom
проход.
once about where Walter had gone.
Кто прячет проход в подвал в
She said
холодильник?
after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could. If there's a pattern in all these stories,
Это или подвал, или кладовка.
I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
Или еще что-то. Так, Волт. Теперь у нас будет Волта.
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years. On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week.
Это землетрясение. Открываем банк.
But after a few days, I settled into a routine.
Почти
That's what kept me
открыт.
sane. Having a schedule,
Банка открыта.
living for today. I always
Иметь
expected to be
какие-то
dead
штуки.
tomorrow. But if you wait long enough, you get used to anything.
Опять то же самое. По дежавю.
Even a monster on the other side of the door starts to feel normal,
Открываем опять банк.
almost friendly. And then one day, everything just stopped.
2005 год. А перед этим был 1976 вроде.
Whatever that thing was, it was gone.
Только в этот раз нету землетрясения.
Maybe it got tired of waiting. Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid. It's been a week now,
Опять
the
2005.
longest
Все, а теперь
in
банк
30
нет.
years. I'm done waiting.
Ищем банку, наверное.
I have to leave while I still can.
Люк. Открываем. Я сказал, открываем. И спускаемся в подвал.
I know it's out there somewhere. Whatever killed Barbara and Molly.
Большой, конечно, тут подвал.
And Calvin.
Мешки с цементом какие-то. Так, это что?
Maybe
Это рычаг?
this is all a mistake.
А, молоток.
But I need to stop living the same day, even if it kills me. Whatever's out there,
Железная
I want you to
дорога.
know I'm ready for it. I'm
А,
going
это
to
мы, наверное,
appreciate
дырку
all of it,
прорубали и пролезли.
especially the food. I don't mind if I only have a year left. Or a month.
Как же медленно все-таки мы идем. Можно
I'd
быстрее.
be happy with one new day. I can already imagine the sun on my face.
Ого. И поезд был.
Walter died when I was 6. I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here. I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me.
То есть все, что проходило в этих историях, все повторяется. Вот мы опять спускаемся по лестнице.
Maybe she was afraid I'd end up like Walter.
Как-то это все странно, что ли.
But if she
Хотя,
never
наверное,
told
один
me
и тот
about
же
an
дом, но
uncle
ничего.
under the house, I can only imagine what else she was hiding. I don't want to make the same mistakes she made. Trying to bury something that's still alive. Now that there's only one of us left, or maybe
Опять это
two,
же место, только в этот раз тут темно.
I thought it was
И сейчас
time I
опять,
heard the
наверное,
stories
приедет
for
поезд.
myself and found out what happened to everyone else. But now I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse, we made it real.
А, и здесь его похоронили. Прыгаем в воду, короче. Не прыгается.
I don't know if I should even be writing this. Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me.
Марик зажегся.
But I
То
thought
есть
you
нам
should know
нужно в
about your
море идти.
family. And the history you're a part of.
Камешки всякие. В море меня не пускают. А на камни, кстати, пускают. Хотя не полностью. Я вроде пускаю. Мне сюда, наверное, не надо. Мне, наверное, туда на лестницу. Я так думаю.
Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now. I think
Тут
people
какой-то
in
дом.
these stories believed them, for what that's worth.
Я так понимаю, надо подниматься по лестнице. А, так это мы круг просто сделали вокруг дома.
That history of imagination and stubbornness and madness. Any of it seems possible. I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it.
Велик тут стоит. Что-то.
What kind of family
Лампочка или
finishes
фонарик?
building a cemetery before starting the house?
И опять спускаемся вниз.
It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but the pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one.
Кладбище.
3
Чарли.
of the gerbils were mine.
2007.
2 had been
Дейзи.
my fault.
1993. Люси. 1909 или... 1969. Всего 13 вот проживет. Коко. 1979. Это типа все дети умершие.
Sven built the house, but it was
Это
Edie
типа
who designed the cemetery.
Барбара Финч. 1960. Понятно. Куда нам идти-то? Shadow 1988. Возвращаемся. Ну, куда нам? Меня вроде больше никуда и не пускают. Оттуда мы пришли. Да, меня больше никуда не пускают. Скорость ходьбы очень медленная. Может, сюда надо пролезть? Нет. А, сюда нужно было.
I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away.
Статуи
She could
какие-то.
see it poking out of the water at low tide.
Что это, телескоп? Ничего не видно.
Edie said she dreamed about the old house
Что это
every
такое?
night.
Было. Там что-то красное светилось. Дайте еще раз посмотреть, я случайно закрыл. Ну ладно. Ладно, возвращаемся, наверное.
Edie's side was always easier for me to understand. But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from. Her dad had been pretty strict, but it wasn't enough to save her brothers. She was just trying to do better. There's so many things I wish I could ask my mom now. Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday and find everything out for myself.
Поднимаемся по лестнице, короче. Это у нас домик на дереве.
But looking back on it
Ну, не
now,
домик, по крайней мере. Но на дереве.
if she told me there was going to be so much climbing,
I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
Аккуратненько. Так, поднимаемся сюда. Флаг USA. Там окно какое-то.
I never met Grandpa Sam, but I think he and my mom had a lot in common. They were both pretty intense.
Шкура медведя тут. Сэм у нас.
Sam spent his life shooting photos, but Mom said he got nervous
Ну
being in
что?
front of the camera. I guess we're all afraid of something.
Это типа горище. Труба какая-то. Так, Грегори. Мы в комнате Грегори. А, не только. Даун и еще кто-то. Газ. Ладно, я думаю, на этом будем заканчивать. Всем пока.